Hey y'all, it's Tuesday and I've been doing bookwork all morning. I've been on my computer or all day. It's one of those days trying to get caught up on everything. And I looked at my phone and I was like, oh gosh, it's already 3 o'clock. The day's gone. But I hope everybody survived April Fool's Day. I didn't really. I had somebody try and prank me a little bit, but not too bad, so it wasn't too awful bad. But that's the church phone ring. It's spam, I can see. Okay. I'm going to finish off, or I'm going to keep on going in Acts chapter 2. We talked about what happened after Resurrection Day. What happened? What went on? And that's what this says. And in verse 22, I left off chapter 2, verse 21 is where I left off yesterday. And anyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. You just have to call on his name. That's all it says. Call on the name of the Lord and you will be saved. It's pretty plain. People of Israel, listen. This is verse 22. People of Israel, listen. God publicly endorsed Jesus of Nazareth by doing wonderful miracles, wonders, and signs through him, as you well know. But you followed God's prearranged plan with the help of lawless Gentiles. You nailed him to the cross and murdered him. However, God released him from the horrors of death and raised him back to life again. For death could not keep him in its grips. King David said this about him. I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken, for he is right beside me. No wonder my heart is filled with joy, and my mouth shouts his praise. My body rests in hope. For you will not leave my soul among the dead, or allow your Holy One to rot in the grave. You have shown me the way of life, and you will give me wonderful joy in your presence. Dear brothers and sisters, think about this. David wasn't referring to himself when he spoke these words I have quoted. For he died and was buried, and his tomb is still here among us. But he was a prophet, and he knew God had promised with an oath that one day that one of David's descendants would sit on David's throne as the Messiah. David was looking into the future and predicting the Messiah's resurrection. He was saying that the Messiah would not be left among the dead and his body would not rot in the grave. This prophecy was speaking of Jesus, whom God raised from the dead, and we all are witness of this. Now he sits on the throne of highest honor in heaven at God's right hand, and the Father, as he has promised, gave him the Holy Spirit to pour out upon us, just as you see and hear today. For David himself never ascended into heaven, yet he said, the Lord said to my Lord, sit in honor at my right hand until I humble your enemies, making them a footstool under your feet. Enemies. I always have to be a little bit careful when I do that because my daughter Kate couldn't say enemies when she was younger, so I always stumble on that sometimes. But this talks about, I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken. We have that promise in us. He has given us the Holy Spirit. He has done that for us. He did his part. Now it's our turn to do our part and to allow the Holy Spirit to be our guide. Allow the Holy Spirit to lead us and guide us into all that God has us to be. And he is seated at the place of highest honor, interceding on behalf of you and I. And he is working all things out for our good if we will allow him. So we talked about it yesterday. Easter, Resurrection Sunday is amazing, powerful, powerful, powerful. But then so is the Monday after Resurrection Sunday, and the Tuesday, and the Wednesday. Every day is powerful because we have the power of Jesus to walk in. And we need to live in that power, and we need to grow in that power, and we need to understand that he gave that to us for a purpose. And that purpose is to go into the world and tell others about him. So we need to take that seriously, and we need to be about our Father's business and do as he has asked us to do. Some days that's hard. Some days when we're not feeling the greatest. I woke up this morning after this weather snap last night. It was warm yesterday, and then today is cold and damp. My body is in a lot of pain. I didn't even want to get out of bed this morning. Got up, took a hot shower, and helped a little bit. But even on those days, I need to be willing to say, wherever, Lord, send me wherever. Put whoever you need me to speak to in my path. And I will do my utmost for you. Some days it's hard for us to do that, and some days we struggle with that. But every day we need to be about our Father's business. So I hope that you will understand that we have a purpose. Each one of us has a purpose, and some days we don't feel our purpose very well. We don't feel like we have a purpose. We're just wondering what it is, but you have a purpose. And some days that purpose may be just making it through that day. But every day, the Lord will never leave you. He is standing and interceding for you, and He just wants what's best for you as well. I pray that you will have a great, great day. The weather didn't get as bad as what they expected for our area. There were some that kind of kept going in the same little path, right up Hominy or Cleveland, Hominy, Barnstable, Pahaska. It seemed like they just kept getting hammered and hammered and hammered. And I had one little brief, it lasted maybe 30 minutes, if that, of rain last night. But I hope that all of those that were affected are able to start recovery processes or rebuilding processes, whatever it may be. It's always scary when we're, start into this time of the year. I wasn't raised in Oklahoma, and I still don't like thunderstorms. I've been in Oklahoma longer than I lived anyplace else, but I still don't like thunderstorms. They still really, really bother me. But I'm thankful that we didn't have it any worse. I hope that you will go and do as the Lord has asked you to do. If He's laid somebody on your heart, text them, call them, pray for them. If you don't feel like you can reach out to them in any other fashion, pray for them. That's why He put them on your heart. Men, don't forget tonight you do have men's meeting at 7 o'clock in the multipurpose building, and then we'll have youth tomorrow. We will not have a ladies meeting tomorrow, due to we didn't have one Sunday, and so I want to kind of keep it on the same schedule. So we're not going to have one tomorrow either. So we will be back. Not this Sunday either, because we have Fifth Sunday Sing this Sunday, which we will be going to Freedom Church. Our praise team will be doing the music, and Mike will be doing the preaching. And so we will do that on this Sunday at 6 o'clock. We will go to Freedom Church. If you want to ride, please just call or text the church phone, 918-399-5956, and we'll make sure that we get you picked up or meet you here, however you want to do it. So I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will see you back here tomorrow.